All right, welcome everybody. We are so glad to be here at Be Alert News, and we want to thank you for being a part of our network family here at Good View Network, they are doing some tremendous, fabulous work across this nation, and we appreciate them so very much. Look, we have a very, very intriguing show. May not be exciting, but intriguing. Now, for some of you, it will be exciting because it's probably going to be information that is going to blow your very mind when you hear what we have to talk about. I have my dear friend here, Dr. Williams, and she is from Escape Zone. And we're going to be talking about the factors of EMF. Yes, we're going to be talking about what that is, and what it does, and what can we do about it. Now, look, Dr. Williams, how are you today, my dear?
I am doing great. Thank you so much, Pastor Leon, for having me on today and spreading this news of something that I have really been researching a lot, because my gut feeling kind of told me that EMF is not great for us, and research is proving it. And I'm sure that resonates well with just about everyone out there.
Yeah, well, so we met at a conference, on autism conference, and that was the introduction to a lot of things that I was definitely not aware of. And we want to help everyone, whether it be our children, because that's where we were at the autism conference, helping our parents, helping companies, businesses, it doesn't matter. And so what gives you the credentials to talk about this? What's your background?
So first of all, I'm a board certified family practice doctor, and I'm also board certified in functional medicine through the Institute of Functional Medicine. So I've really been looking at root cause illness for a very long time, for over a decade. And so what I really look at when people come into my office, and now virtual office, what I really look at is why they're having, for example, painful periods or hair loss, or, all these different things, gut issues, eczema, asthma, anything, whatever it is. I always look at root cause and what we can do using lifestyle medicine to heal it. So it was a very natural evolution for me to go down the road of learning about EMF. As I was hearing more and more about it, surely the government would be protecting us, and there would be guidelines. And what is 5G anyway? And actually, for that matter, what is EMF? And what I found is there's a huge lack of understanding from a medical perspective. So a medical doctor doesn't have the physics knowledge that's really required, and also some of the engineering knowledge that's really required to sort of integrate the two together so that you can really understand at a much higher level what electromagnetic fields are actually doing to our bodies at the cellular level. So I spent countless hours, read several books, trying to educate myself so that I can start helping my patients who were coming in with these weird symptoms like fatigue and depression and lack of focus, and more patients. And I know people will be recognizing this, more and more patients with ringing in their ears, ADHD, the levels of autism going through the roof. 1 in 38 people. When I first started practicing medicine over 3 decades ago, I had one patient who had autism, and that, it was 1 in 1,500.
So how long ago? So you're saying, is this 10 years, 20 years? How long was the span of seeing that drastic change?
20 years.
Wow.
1 in 1,500, 1 in 38. Now, there's a lot of things that can correlate with that. The use of plastics has increased. The level of toxins that are in our environment has increased. Use of vaccines has gone through the roof. And coincidentally, at the same timeline is the use of things that require electromagnetic fields has significantly increased as well. And there are some doctors like Dr. Martin Paul who contribute the EMF to increase in autism cases, which then leads to the idea of, well, why the heck are we allowing this to happen in this country? If there's actual evidence, then why are we allowing this to continue?
Well, I think one of the things that we need people who pioneer and actually start to question, not so much because we appreciate innovation and all of its benefits. We appreciate that. But we also need to understand what may be some of the side effects or what might be some of the setbacks that through research, right, through trial, through error, just like what happened with the vaccines, we found out that they didn't do a whole lot of trial and error. They just pushed it out. But again, anything that is innovative, that can demonstrate making things better for us, more effective. What is the word? Convenient. Okay, isn't that a great word? Boy, aren't our cell phones convenient? Aren't our laptops? They're just right there when we need it. Isn't that amazing? Why hasn't?
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm excited to bring you my Giza Dream bed sheets for the best offer ever. We're all experiencing unprecedented rising prices, but I was able to secure a limited amount of Giza cotton for a great price, and I'm going to pass those savings directly on to you. Get my Giza Dream bed sheets for as low as $29.98 with your promo code. They're the most luxurious sheets ever, made with the world's finest cotton. Grown only in a region between the Sahara Desert, Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River, where the weather conditions are perfect for growing cotton. My sheets are ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. I guarantee they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 50% on my Giza Dream bed sheets. That's as low as $29.98. Quantities are extremely limited at these amazing prices, so please order now.
Hasn't a lot of doctors or scientists, talk about this?
So I think in order to really help understand it, let's kind of draw back. So when I first started researching this, I had to understand for myself what electromagnetic fields were and why, and do they really affect our bodies? Now, our bodies are electrically charged. Okay. So a lot of the cellular functions that happen in our body happen because of positive and negative ions that are going in and out. Your cardiac muscle is one of the most electrically charged system in your body. That's how arrhythmias happen. So our bodies interact with other electrical charges around us. Now, the idea though is that electromagnetic fields are invisible. Imagine sitting, like, just for example, for me in this room right now. Now, if I was not on this podcast, by the way, this is what I would be wearing. This hat that has a little Faraday protection in it, which is amazing. And I'm so glad that Escape Zone actually created this. So this hat actually has something inside of it called Faraday material that actually blocks EMF from going in. And the brain is one of the most affected organs. Now, let's jump into what the FCC guidelines for safety is. And this is where the disconnect happens.
What exactly does the hat have? Because I think we went out for a second, but what does that hat have inside of it?
It's a material called Faraday, which is a very soft material that actually helps block EMF or any electrical, anything going through here. Now, it doesn't block it around my face, but it definitely covers a large surface of my brain. We have other things too that do that, but this is where we're trying to be innovative and help rather than just live in fear. And like you said, we can go off the grid, right? That's an option. And, that's actually not a bad option. For 8 hours a day, go off the grid. So we actually talk about creating a clean bedroom, an EMF free as you can be bedroom at nighttime. So you can actually start to detox your body. So, and we'll talk about what EMF does at the cellular level in a minute, but let's go back to what the FCC guidelines, which control exposure to humans and also insects and animals outside. I mean, these are not just affecting us. These EMFs are going out to anything that's alive outside. So bees, insects, even plants. There's studies on plants being damaged by being too close to smart meters, which are very high EMF emitting things in your house. So the FCC guidelines are based on 1996 studies based on thermal energy exposure, not electromagnetic field exposure. And they based it on something called a specific absorption rate. You know, how fast the absorption of this thermal energy goes into a skull of a model. And the model was a 220-pound, 6'2" man. Now, if we just take that, which is erroneous anyway, because we're not really dealing with just thermal energy absorption, we're also dealing with electromagnetic field absorption. So these invisible rays all throughout your house that are going in to your body. And think about this, Pastor Leon, a child's brain and surface area and skin thickness.
I wanted to introduce one of our news items on darkbags.com. It is our Faraday bulletproof backpack. So basically there is a Kevlar plate in this main compartment right here. It's very lightweight. It is certified as well. Our certifications are on darkbags.com in the description. So basically if you're in public transportation, you're at a rally, you're at school, you can protect yourself in the case that you are in a line of fire by just holding this up and protecting, you know, your face, your torso, etc. This bag also has a Faraday pouch hidden in the back over here. Let me show you. So this opens up right here, and it's a fairly decent sized pouch. It's the size of this right here. So this fits your phone, your wallet, your keys, so no one can track you, find your location, no one can steal your credit card information. This also protects against EMP and EMF, as well as unnecessary radiation coming from your devices. So this is very important. It's also nice because this is up against your back when you're wearing it, so no one can steal your items that are stored in this pocket. There is 3 main compartments in this pocket. The front 2 are easy access. You can stick your hand in this one really quickly, zipper, and then this one has pouches for your, you know, your pens and papers and all that kind of thing. And then there's this main compartment where there's the Kevlar plate that you can zip up, but you still are able to put a laptop and everything like that in here. This bag runs $199 on darkbags.com. It's usually priced at $250, so it's a really good deal right now, and it's going to be while supplies last as well.
And the amount of volume of water they have in their body make them significantly more susceptible to EMF. So when we're giving our kids the cell phone to use, especially while we're driving, and it's literally pinging all these towers because they're watching some cute little video, and it's horrible. It's horrible, the amount of EMF. So if you could see it, if it was visible, I actually have a little diagram that I draw sometimes for people. And what I do is I draw this mock picture of a house, and I put in all of the things that are emitting EMF in your house all around, you know, your smart TV, your microwave, your computer, your cell phone, everything around you, the smart meter, your router. And if you live like in a condo or apartment complex, it's even worse because every single unit has a router. So, you know, when you go to your link into your Wi-Fi and you've got like 50 choices, you're within range of exposure to all of those 50 choices.
So basically, Dr. Williams, you're saying that these waves are just floating all around us, penetrating even. Am I right? I mean, they're not just going around us.
You're absolutely right.
They're being absorbed inside of us. Our bodies are like what? Sponges, so to speak, maybe.
Yes.
Wow.
So what's happening at the cellular level, one of the main, if not, and this is based on research, one of the main ways it affects our cells. So imagine a cell, okay? And we've got, you know, billions of cells in our body. So imagine a cell. They communicate, the inside of the cell communicates with the outside of the cell through this membrane. And embedded in this membrane is something called a voltage-gated calcium channel. That is very sensitive to EMF. That's the problem. So what's happening is when you have excessive EMF exposure, these gates are opening, allowing calcium to flow in. Excess calcium inside of a cell causes a significant increase of something called reactive oxygen species, or aging inside of the cell. Lots of damage inside of the cell. So we're damaging our cells. So when we start seeing things like, cell phones in pockets, for example, especially in men, a decrease in sperm count, decrease in sperm quality, decrease in testosterone, decrease in fertility, that's kind of a big deal. That's actually one of the first places medical doctors started seeing and raising an eyebrow is with the fertility clinics, because we are seeing a significant increase in men having infertility problems because of the sperm quality having decreased.
Because wait a minute, where my brothers at? I need my men to just wake up. Wake up.
We got to save the little guys. I'm just saying.
Yeah, come on now. Wait, God gave us, I'm a pastor for 20 plus years. He told us to be fruitful and to multiply, to replenish the earth and to subdue. And if something is depleting that commandment, that's an issue. It's
a big deal. And this is the problem is with the testicles, which are an organ outside of the body, so they're a little more sensitive. But what we're seeing there is definitely happening on the inside of the body as well. But what happens is the EMF exposure from having a phone so when your phone is in your pocket, it's not just sitting in your pocket, it's pinging to towers. It's sending transmissional messages I believe it's several hundred per minute, to make sure that you're always constantly connected to a tower. And now that we have 5G towers, which are more powerful, and because they're more powerful, then you have to give up the amount of distance they can travel. So now we have to have a lot more 5G towers everywhere. So now we're pinging to multiple towers at once, potentially. So definitely a issue, definitely actual studies out there that show everything I just said. I would be happy to share the links to the studies with you in terms of decreasing the testicular function, which the testicular function is primarily two things. One, testosterone, and that plays a lot.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm here to tell you about my new product from MyPillow, towels that actually work. Watch this absorbency test. Here's another towel that we randomly went out and bought. Here's one of my towels with the nice design. I don't know if you can see this, but you could line a swimming pool with this. I mean, this is crazy. Get rid of it. Towels that actually work. What a concept. I'm interrupting this commercial to let you know you can get our 6-piece My Towels, regular $69.98, now only $29.98. Or you can save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels, made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Also, we have bath sheets, bath towels, washcloths, hand towels, and so much more. And the best part, with your promo code, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all My Towels. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
A lot of roles in longevity, and then 2 in sperm quality. So we're decreasing the mobility of sperm, we're decreasing the number of sperm, we're decreasing and we're changing the actual genetic makeup in sperm. So now we've got some DNA damage being reported. So what is that leading to? What kind of embryo is that leading to? And so these are things that we educate, like do not hold your phone on your body. And how many girls do you see just take their phone and just throw it in between their waistband and their pocket, and it's directly.
Well, they put it in their bra too. I mean, let's just be real.
Yeah. So, well, there's case studies of people who wore their cell phones in their bra, and for a long period of time, for like months and months, and if not years, at the same place consistently all the time. And that's exactly where they had breast cancer. And it was not the typical type of breast cancer, because it was normally breast cancers happen in the upper outer quadrant. And these tumors were happening on the superficial, so really close to the surface of the skin. and right where their phones were for years. So, and a lot of times when women put this in their bras, they definitely put it in the same place all the time. It wasn't like, well, this time I'll choose this corner, then I'll choose, it's always in the same place all the time. So
we want our kids, because we got men, women, our children, we really want them to be learning all the time. So we're thinking, right? Use the innovation, use the computer, use the cell phone, the iPad, and then you give it to them, and their eyes are like glued right to the screen. And could you imagine having that in a classroom for 8 hours, glued to a screen for 8 hours?
It's horrible. It's not what I had growing up, which now I'm actually thankful for. But on the flip side, it's what my kids have had growing up. Now, we were the more strict family, so we didn't let our kids have a cell phone until they were in high school. But a lot of their friends had cell phones in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. But also, a lot of this we didn't know because we just assumed the government was protecting us, honestly, until there was actually a study. I want to just, not a study, but an analysis. There's several people that I just love reading everything they do. But one of the people, Dr. Devra Davis, she was actually instrumental in having the cigarette smoking stopped in airplanes. Like, she was one of those people that was on that committee. Her, and also this study by the ethics department at Harvard by Norm Alster, they concluded that the FCC is a captured agency. There's no question that government has been under the influence of the industry. The FCC is a captured agency, said Renee Sharp, who is the research director for the nonprofit environmental working group people. So this is not what I want to point out to everyone is I'm very well aware because I've done a lot of research my whole life. I mean, over 30 years, right? I've published papers, I've done all that. This is not research bias. I tried to prove myself wrong. This is not me going into, where when
I was going to say that because some people say, oh, okay, here we go again, another extremist. Here we go again. What we call sometimes disinformation.
Right.
This is not disinformation. I was really very aware of the fact, having you on this show, that I wanted people to really know that we did not just want to put fear mongering, spirits out there to have people running around in fear. No, we really want people to be informed and not disinformed. Okay. We really, you can go and do your own research. We'll have the links and the notes in our show, so you can go and look it up yourself. So I really appreciate you just giving it to us, straight from the hip, and coming from a scientific, not a theoristic, viewpoint.
Right.
This is science that you're talking about, Dr. Williams. Am I correct?
You are 100% correct. I try to disprove myself because I'm not one of those people that jumps on the next big bandwagon. But there's just so much information out there. Actually, Dr. Devra Davis wrote a book called Disconnect. It's actually a really good one to read if any of your readers want to read that. She's an incredibly bright woman. And if anyone wants to do more research, Dr. Martin Pall, Pall, amazing videos out there. Not the most excitable and maybe more scientific on the scientific side, but certainly he's pretty good too. I've actually given his video to some of my friends to watch, and they're like, I can't do it. It's very scientific, but the idea is look at all the research. That's all you have to do. And there is not enough evidence for me to not be able to come here and say that EMF is really affecting our cellular biology. And it's another thing that's compounding these reactive oxygen species that, a poor diet, lack of sleep, toxin exposure, heavy metals, glyphosate, things like that. All these things are also increasing reactive oxygen species. So we have to be aware of how much of that do we want to keep compounding. And of course, we can talk on and on and on about how bad it is, but there are some viable solutions. So
Yes, I mean, I know we got about a few minutes here. I know there was a website that you did mention, and I wanted the people to be able to understand that there are other innovative ways, okay, along with innovation of technology that can also, what does it say, dilute the effects, if I can use that word, dilute, and not make the cause of EMF so stringent and like tackling us every day, like on a football field. What is that website?
It's called escapezone.com.
Okay.
And
I'll have my producer put that up and
yeah.
peruse through the site while you're talking and everything. But what is on that site?
So we have all sorts of products. Let me just grab a couple here of my favorite ones. One of my favorite is the beanie, honestly, because I do really, it feels good.
I saw you put that on earlier.
And it's really comfy. And so I
think you really like that one.
I was actually on a patient call yesterday and I forgot my hat on. And they're like, what's that? I want one. So, but yeah, I definitely love my beanie, wear it all the time. And then my second favorite thing is this side back, because you know what? That's how women carry their cell phones, right? In their little fanny pack, and they just kind of put it on the side. This one's kind of stylish. I like wearing it like this, but also it's got the Faraday material inside of it. And so you can put your phone in here and you will not be pinging. You'll actually have zero transmission. So if you put your phone in here in this little pocket that's lined with Faraday, you will have zero emission, no transmission. So your cell phone is like dead to the towers. So you will not be detectable. The other thing I love is I like the bag that I carry my computer in. And the reason why I love it is, one, while I'm carrying it, it's inside of the Faraday material in here as well. So there's a huge Faraday pocket, and again, the material. But what I love about this bag is sometimes I sit just to finish up on patient charts or whatever else I'm doing. I'll put this flat and put my computer on it and put it on my lap. One thing we want to avoid is the computer touching you directly. Not only is it emitting thermal heat, but obviously it's also emitting the EMF radiation onto your lap. And then the other big thing we do is, and we can talk about this later, how to make your bedroom safe. We have these blankets. These are twin size blankets. We also have lap blankets. Now there's a huge movement on protecting pregnant women. And there's actually these studies done at these major universities like Yale University, where there's projects, pregnancy protection projects, where we actually recommend and teach how to decrease EMF exposure, especially early on that first trimester, but really throughout the whole time, because, you know, again, babies are so super sensitive. So these are twin size blankets. You would want to buy two. We're looking at making queen and king size blankets. They're super expensive to make because we use 3 layers of the Faraday material across that entire blanket. So really, if each person has their own blanket, that's always the best. And then for pregnant women, and actually for all of us, if we have a couple of those lap blankets by our couch, that's really helpful to just cover your body with, or at least your belly with, some of your organs with. It's perfect for your torso.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have really enjoyed this today. You know, I'm going to have to bring you back. So we're going to have to talk about some more of these solutions and really streamline how people sometimes say, maybe it's not that bad. But I think that we need to put information out there that they can clearly see on the surface that maybe there is something to this. I really want to thank you for being with us on this episode today. I'm going to have to bring you back. We're going to have to do another show and really allow people to hear your expertise. And again, I'm so glad that you're not coming from a theorist perspective, but from a scientific perspective. So look, today, guys, if you want more information, how can they find you? We got about 20 seconds. How can they find you?
So you can find me on beingfunctional.com, BEING functional.com. And then also you can go to all these products at escapezone.com. Those are the 2 biggest areas.
Wow. Well, look, gang, You're with us today. We don't want you to be alarmed. We want you to be forewarned. How about that? We want you to be armed with the right information. Thank you so much, Dr. Williams. I love it. I love it. I love it. We're going to have you come back, and we're going to talk some more about what is going on with EMF. God bless you all.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me, Pastor.
Bye-bye.